Alright, so before we build this computer, let's really quickly go over all of the parts that we're actually going to be using in this thing. First up is the ASUS ROG Z890 gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. I did in fact put the CPU in there already. We're going to be using the Intel Core Ultra 9. This right here, my friends, is why this is such a good motherboard. Look at the amount of USB-Cs and Thunderbolt ports that you actually get on the back of this thing. Not only that, look at the speeds of every single USB we got. We got 7 10 gig USBs. We got 3 5 gig USBs. We got 2 Thunderbolts, and then we have 2 10 gig USB-C ports on the back of this thing. That is absolutely crazy. Now, I also really like the way the cooler looks. I think that this thing looks pretty cool. I honestly thought when I opened the package, it was like busted up, or not busted up, but like it was like fell off or something. However, specs and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure you guys are already fully aware of this stuff right here, since the listing actually says that. The next thing that we're going to be using right here is the ROG Ryujin 360 millimeter AIO cooler. This is the first time that I've ever used this thing, so I'm genuinely hoping that it is not a pain in my rear end to actually install, because unfortunately there's a pretty big chunk of these things that, first of all, is the cables. Second of all is the way the CPU actually mounts, and that's really my big concern with this one, is because it's such a chunky pump header. And then the other thing is that this does have the temperature stuff, kind of like the Corsair IQ stuff that Corsair offers. Next up, we're going to be using the ASUS ROG Strix 1200 watt power supply. First, it is a great power supply. I'm not saying that it's not a good power supply. However, like, there's other brands out there that have 1000 watt power supplies that are going to work perfectly fine with this actual build. The person I'm building it for, they just wanted all the ASUS stuff, which is why, just take a wild guess what the graphics card is. It's pretty obvious, right? And then next up, Intel Ultra 9. Already installed it. It's literally what I have over there in my computer. So this is an unlocked version of this. It is going to be, or it is going to have the integrated graphics, and this is Series 2. Apparently, I'm not sure what mine is. I don't remember seeing that on my box. However, unlocked Series 2. Apparently, maybe that's like an update to everything. This is going to be a gaming PC, and he wanted 64 gigabytes of DDR5. So I asked him whether or not he wanted 2 sticks or 4 sticks. Personally, I like the way 4 sticks looks, but there's no denying that stability is much better with 2 sticks of memory. Now, these fellas, we got 2 2TB drives. He plays lots of games. These things are wild. These are absolutely crazy. The speed of these NVMEs is just like, it's on a whole different level. So I'm sure that you guys know the specs and all that kind of stuff. Samsung, really the main reason that I like Samsung is just they really stick by their product. You can see it right there, actually. They really stick by their product, and I've never had any issues with any Samsung NVMe. I do have the Crucial version of the Gen 5 NVMe in my computer over there, and it's just as good. So there's not really a difference, at least from what I can tell, man. They're both just crazy. There's a massive, big jump in performance in comparison to like the Gen 4 stuff. So this right here, we just got, it's going to be like a dust filter, because Height doesn't have one on the back of their case here. And my buddy that I'm building this for does have he does have a pet. And these are just going to make it much easier to keep the dust out of the actual computer. And then we just got 6 TLS12 Thermalright fans. Really just got these because Thermalright has had fans, and I've bought them multiple times and never had an issue. So it's kind of like the Samsung stuff. So yeah, that's everything that we're going to be using. We get the Z89, we get the 360 millimeter AIO, we get the power supply, the CPU, the RAM, the NVMe's, the dust filters, the fans, and then for the case, we have the height Y70. And the height Y70, we're mainly using this thing because we have a very big graphics card that we're going to be putting in this thing. Again, take a wild guess as to what version. I know you guys already know what type of graphics card we're going to be. I mean, it's a 5090. Let's just be real. You guys already know. You don't need me to tell you. But anyways, it's a very big graphics card. I do want to ask my buddy if he really wants to use this because, yes, I'm fully aware 5090 mounted vertically, that's going to be a pretty toasty graphics card. So there's not really any way for me to install the 3 other fans down here. I can install 3 here and then maybe 2 like right there or something, or maybe there's a way. I know the Y60 has the fans like there's like a gap and then the fans are like inside like the bottom so that there's actually fans down here, but this one does not have that, unfortunately. But either way, now we're gonna go ahead and build this thing. Benchmarks, gaming, all that kind of stuff will be coming up next. I just barely got off the phone with ASUS support because I was actually pretty afraid and curious as to like whether or not this was a problem right here with the display like actually sliding out a little bit. It doesn't pull up. It's not like broken or anything. But the reason that this slides is actually because like when you have a fan and it maybe you have like a different style case, like maybe one of these cases down here that aren't as thick, it slides so that your fan can actually fit because it is a much bigger, it's like a much thicker motherboard. As you saw, there's like tons of, it's like a Batman. It has a lot of armor, like the undercarriage has a bunch of metal, there's a bunch of heat sinks. You can kind of see how thick this part is right here, and because of that, the fans might end up hitting the display, or the fan will be in the way of the display. So it slides out because of that, which I honestly think is pretty cool. I think that that's pretty cool that they went to that extent to even make it slidable. I honestly thought it was broken. Alright, I'm not going to record him setting up his pin, obviously. Hell yeah, bro. Rocket power. That was the first cartoon character, Rocko's Modern Life. Oh my god. Dude, you don't even realize. I literally just made, remember that video, the channel I just showed you? Look at the video I literally uploaded the other day. It's the fucking 1990s trends.
The 90s shit.
A lot of these shows, bro. Hold on. Alright, guys, let me know which one is your favorite. So, sticking out in my mind, or in my eyes right now, I see Invader Zim. That was a good one. Earthworm Jim. Billy and Mandy. Oh my god, fucking Land Before Time, that shit made me cry. Ren and Stimpy, Ninja Turtles for the win. Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog. So many memories on that one, dude. That's a cool wallpaper.